Do you know what phrase makes a woman stop what she's doing, look you in the eyes, and start imagining a life with you? It's not a pickup line, nor an over-the-top declaration. It's a simple combination of words that triggers, in the female brain, a deep instinct for respect, desire, and connection. Today, you're going to discover the most powerful phrase a man can say to a woman, and how to use it naturally, confidently, and irresistibly. Have you ever found yourself overthinking before talking to a woman, crafting elaborate speeches, trying to impress her with fancy words, and in the end, nothing happens? The truth is, for many women, the more you try to show off, the less interesting you seem. They don't want a man who tries hard to be accepted. They want a man who already accepts himself. Confident men don't need long speeches or embellishments. They say what needs to be said with firmness and clarity. A simple phrase like, "I want to get to know you better," can have more impact than 5 minutes of forced compliments. The key is to express genuine intent without fear of judgment. That triggers something deep in the female instinct, a sense of safety. Think about the most magnetic men you've seen in movies or real life. They don't say much, but they say the right things. When a man speaks with directness and certainty, he's not just communicating words, he's showing posture. And posture is one of the biggest attraction triggers for any woman, at any age. Remember this: women don't fall for beautiful phrases. They connect with the energy behind the words. When your actions and words are simple, direct, and sincere, you stand out from the majority. And that's where true seduction begins. Less is more, when what you say comes from a place of truth. Most men search for ready-made lines to catch a woman's attention, but forget something fundamental. Questions spark interest. While many try to impress with declarations, few have the boldness to provoke real thought. When you ask something that makes her reflect, you step away from the ordinary and stand out from the rest. That's where true emotional connection begins. Imagine saying to her calmly and confidently, "What makes you feel truly alive?" This question breaks the automatic pattern of shallow conversations. It's not meant to trigger just any response, but to open space for a deeper exchange, where you show you're genuinely interested in who she really is. Few men have the courage to go that deep, and for a mature woman, that's incredibly attractive. Men between 25 and 55 have something younger guys don't: life depth. Use that to your advantage. Asking something beyond the surface shows emotional intelligence. It's not about trying to look cultured. It's about being present. When a woman realizes you're paying attention to what she feels, she starts imagining you as part of her life. Now let me ask you, what's the most powerful question you've ever asked a woman? Or the one that completely changed the course of the conversation? Share it in the comments. Your example could open the eyes of other men who, like you, are evolving in the game of real connection. Few phrases reveal as much about a man as "I want." Not because the words alone are powerful, but because they carry something rare: direction. Most women are tired of dealing with indecisive men, guys who sit on the fence and avoid taking risks. When you clearly state what you want, you show that you're at peace with your choices. And that's magnetic. Saying, "I want to take you out to dinner tomorrow," isn't just an invitation. It's a demonstration of leadership without arrogance. You take initiative without forcing it. You take a step forward, making it clear that you're not asking for permission to feel. That kind of posture is especially appreciated by mature women who recognize when they're dealing with a man who knows what he's doing. That phrase also conveys maturity. At 25, it can help you stop being seen as just another nice guy. At 45, it reinforces your natural authority and removes any doubt about your intentions. At any stage of life, clarity and desire avoids games and creates an atmosphere of mutual respect. No mystery. A woman who knows where she stands values a man who knows where he's going. So before you think, "What is she going to think?" ask yourself, "What do you want?" When your words align with your intention, you don't need to fake charm or play a role. Confidence lies in being clear, without apologizing for it. Saying what you want can be powerful, but it all depends on how you deliver it. Many men confuse clarity with rigidity and end up sounding controlling. Others, afraid of coming across too strong, become passive and insecure. The balance lies in communicating your desire in a way that doesn't sound like a demand, nor like a plea for approval. If you say, "I want to see you today," while seeking her approval or fearing a no, the message loses its power. On the other hand, if you say it as if she's obligated to accept, the connection breaks. The right way is to express your intent as an invitation, not as pressure. You offer, she chooses, and whatever the response, you remain firm in your value. Women quickly pick up on the energy behind words. You could say the exact same phrase another man said, but with a calm, confident tone, your presence speaks louder. That takes self-control, slow breathing, a steady gaze, and a soft smile. Small details that convey confidence without having to prove anything. Remember, it's not about convincing anyone. Your goal is not to earn approval, but to share a clear intention. That transforms any ordinary phrase into a gesture of presence. And a man who is present is always more interesting than one who's constantly trying to please. When a woman hears something direct like "I want," the impact isn't just rational, it's emotional. There's a psychological pattern that makes this phrase stand out. It unconsciously triggers a sense of safety. A man who expresses what he wants conveys stability, and that touches the female instinct for choosing, especially in selective and emotionally mature women. The female brain processes social cues much more intensely than the male brain. That means every word, gesture, and tone of voice is analyzed in seconds. If your words carry a clear and clean intention, she feels it. It's not the isolated content of the phrase that creates the effect, but the energy behind how it's said. That's why women can sense without you saying a word, whether you're in alignment with yourself or disconnected. In a world where most men still hesitate, being the one who takes initiative with ease is a huge advantage. A woman can sense when you're guided by clarity, and that stirs something ancestral within her. The desire to connect with someone who knows what they're doing. It's not about being dominant, it's about being grounded. So understand that her reaction to your words comes from a subtle mix of biology, emotion, and context. If you speak with presence, without anxiety or pressure, she instinctively feels that and responds with curiosity, openness, or respect. You don't need to convince her of anything. You just need to allow her to feel the man you are. The big advantage of a phrase like "I want" lies in its adaptability. It's not just for starting a flirtation, but also for deepening bonds. At different stages of connection, this phrase changes its role without losing impact. At the beginning, it shows intent. Over time, it becomes a way to strengthen the dynamic between you. On a first date, saying "I want to see you again" ends the night with direction. In a relationship, saying "I want us to grow together" signals commitment, without sounding clingy. In both situations, the phrase acts as a bridge between thought and action. Women can feel the difference between someone who's just talking and someone who speaks with real intention. It also works as a tool for emotional alignment. If you're at a point where you need to express something deeper, like a boundary or a personal need, this phrase can start a mature conversation. "I want some time to myself today" is just as powerful as any romantic statement because it shows you respect yourself. And self-worth is attractive. Adapting the phrase to the context shows that you're emotionally available, but still have your own identity. She realizes she's in front of someone who knows where he stands, whether it's during a first interaction or within a committed relationship. That creates a sense of emotional stability that's rare and deeply attractive. Her response won't always be immediate or enthusiastic, and that's perfectly normal. Many men lose emotional control when they don't get the reaction they hoped for. They start justifying themselves, insisting or backing off too much. But the right reaction is much simpler and more powerful. Maintain your posture. When you stay steady, even in the face of silence, she sees that you don't rely on her approval to feel whole. Let's say you say, "I want to see you tomorrow," and she replies, "I'm not sure yet." That's not the time to try to convince her or to take it as rejection. The ideal response would be something like, "No problem. If you change your mind, let me know." Short, direct, and light. You show respect, but also make it clear you're not available for games or uncertainty. That kind of reply shows emotional maturity. Instead of overreacting, you calmly pass the ball back to her, without losing your confident tone. When a woman feels that you're not emotionally shaken by her uncertainty, she starts to see you differently. You become emotionally scarce without needing to pull away. That's when her interest starts to grow, quietly but steadily. Your strength isn't in controlling the situation, but in how you behave when things are out of your control. Balanced reactions inspire respect, and respect is the foundation of true attraction. She might not say anything in the moment, but believe me, she's paying attention. And a man who knows how to handle the unpredictable is never forgotten.